When I first got the PlayStation many moons ago, my mind was blown away by the different games on offer. Every day I would wander into a shop and see more games I hadn't seen before. Of course, at that young age, I couldn't hope to buy or play all the games I wanted, so my dad had to do it. Remember when renting games was a thing? You know, you borrowed a game for a day or two, then if you really enjoyed it, you bought it for its retail price. Me and my dad did this a lot between 1998 and 2002, and one game we borrowed was TigerShark for the PlayStation. Apparently, I liked it so much, not only did my dad buy it fully, he also bought the PC version. I must be one of few people to own both versions of the game. Being one of my early PlayStation 1 experiences then, is TigerShark worth a second look? Well, time to find out. I guess you're wondering what the heck this game is, right? Well, TigerShark is an action game which sees you piloting an advanced subhydrofoil trying to stop the Soviet Union from... Okay, the plot is a bit hard to explain honestly. These little tidbits help explain the story, but it really boils down to stopping Russia from doing bad things, and the United States of America is good. Anyway, the game is a bit like battleships if it were in 3D, if that makes sense. Your hydrofoil is equipped with many different weapons and it can work on and under the water, all this to take the fight to the Russians. For this game, I played in the milk run mode, or to make it easier, easy mode. Although there is a catch that I'll explain later on. When you finally start, you'll get a briefing on each mission on what the game expects you to do. Usually it's destroy Russian sonars, destroy Russian power taps, and disable Japanese taps. Yes, it's pretty predictable for the most part, although some missions change things up, such as rescuing your subcarrier from attack, to escorting a submarine as it disables Japanese taps for you, and so on. Mission variety is not the most varied in TigerShark, and it can get a bit repetitive. But hold on, let's not jump ahead yet. Back to the gameplay. You have many weapons at your disposal, and depending on whether you are underwater or on the surface, the hydrofoil will change. On the surface, you'll have higher top speeds, rockets, homing missiles, and machine guns that all can run out of ammo. You tend to get a lot more ammo on the surface as well, despite the fact most of your time is spent underwater. Makes you wonder why this is not the other way around. Underwater then, you'll instead have torpedoes, and they range from homing to unguided to the MK90, which can split into 6 smaller torpedoes and can lock on as well. You'll get a laser rather than a machine gun, which can recharge, so underwater you cannot run out of ammo. Also, while you're underwater, you'll also get the EMP torpedoes, which are used to disable the Japanese taps. Yes, you cannot destroy them, otherwise something terrible will occur. The weapons will change slightly from stage to stage, such as the MK77, which is handy on these smaller, annoying ships. Speaking of the enemies, most of them are these Russian subfighters that fire these lasers at you, and they are accurate. It's hard to shoot them down because they move so quickly, and if you have multiple to deal with, it gets hectic. Trying to focus while being battered by an array of lasers will push you to the limit. May I remind you that this is on easy mode. Yes, easy. The surface enemies are cruise ships, speedboats, and turret placements, but I find these enemies easier to deal with due to the extra firepower given to you on the surface. Oh, and you need to watch out for environmental hazards too, like these mines. Yes, the game is out to get you. However, if you do manage to complete all 6 missions, the game then tells you this message. Basically, you have to play the game in at least rock and roll mode to see the other 3 stages. So okay, let's try it. The difference in difficulty is insane. The enemies can do more damage to you, nearby explosions can damage the TigerShark, and there seems to be more enemies per stage. Also, at the top of the screen you have status bars for 3 parts of the system: propulsion, weapons, and sensors. I don't think I have to explain what happens when these get damaged. Usually you're practically dead by this point anyway, as these guys don't let up. Because of this, I realised I wasn't going to beat the game on this difficulty, so I had to cheat. Yes, I know, it's sacrilege and not right, but I really want to show you the rest of the game. It was my only option. These last 3 stages are insane. Imagine trying to complete this without dying. Trying to destroy these massive substations with them in full attack mode is tough enough as it is. I would be toast without these cheats in full swing. The next mission has you destroying barriers, Russian taps, and disabling a Japanese tap before finally crashing down a waterfall into a secret base. This mission is just crazy. So much is going on, and this fortress is guarded by these towers that throw fireballs or something in your face. I won, naturally, and we get a final cutscene of a TigerShark prototype being launched in the aftermath. Maybe a TigerShark 2 was planned but never came to be. Still, with all that said, the game only got me 1 hour and 30 minutes of gameplay, which is very short indeed. This won't be a game to play every day unless you really like the experience on offer. Let's go on to the controls next, as I haven't touched on them. They work well enough and the TigerShark handles okay. Not amazing, but workable. You can always change the setup in the options if you need to. Graphically, the game also has a decent showing. Dithering is on display as expected, but overall TigerShark has average 3D models and decent special effects. I will say the water effects when underwater can look flat, especially in the darker levels. It can be hard to tell where you are, and you can lose track of the area around you. Good thing this radar guides you to your next objective. It doesn't tell you if the target is under or above water though. The TigerShark in certain shots can look almost like a thin piece of paper, which I still find odd to this day. In other words, TigerShark gets the job done, but it won't impress your friends. Where TigerShark does impress me is in the sound department. Sound effects and explosions sound punchy, loud, and pretty satisfying, although the constant beeping of the warning radar will get on your nerves pretty quickly. It never seems to stop, and though useful in theory, most of the time I just ignored it. Still, the other sound effects make up for that one lousy effect, and TigerShark certainly keeps you on your toes, waiting to blow up whoever is in your way. The music needs a special mention. It's the best part of the game by far. It's hard to explain, but it suits the action and drives the action forward with some lively tracks. There are slower, more ambient tracks that add tension to the gameplay, or you could argue brings a calming vibe to the chaos at hand. The game was criticised for its soundtrack as being unfitting, but I disagree. It's not the greatest soundtrack ever, but I do enjoy what they made here. It's solid overall. Ultimately, TigerShark is a decent, if mediocre video game that does enough to be worth a play once or twice for most people. I have fond memories of this game, and although I'm sure I'll play it again in the future, it's not something I'll talk about or encourage others to play, as there's very little to see here. Still, it remains one of my childhood favourites, and it will always be remembered fondly as my personal gaming journey continues. What did you think of TigerShark? Do you have games that you feel no one else talks about? Let me know in the comments, and hopefully I'll see you guys again soon.